Hello! Welcome back. It's time for another one of my weekly updates on my mod. Oh god, how long has it been? Yes. Anyways, I'll be making some steady progress on the mod. So, I just want to make a little update and talk about what my plans are. Specifically today, I want to look at changing up some trainer teams. The major teams for the first part of the game. So, obviously, the major fights are going to include the rival battles, which in this section is going to be 4 of them. We've got the lab battle, we've got Route 22 battle, we've got Nugget Bridge battle, and we've got the SSAN battle. Then we're going to be looking at Brock the Rock Johnson, then Mount Moon, which has 2, I would say, major fights, a scientist battle, and the rocket boss in Mount Moon. After that, we go up against Misty. Following Misty, we have the Nugget Bridge fight against the rival and a rocket boss, with one other gimmick fight that I'm putting in Cerulean. Wait for that one. And then we sail off to SSAN and Shores Unknown. And we're going to end out this video with Lieutenant Surge. For the first rival fight, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be increasing his starter by 50 levels. We're not going to be doing that. No, we can just keep it the same. It's a tutorial fight. No need to change it. Next is the rival on Route 22. Normally, he's just caught a Spearow and got a bunch of extra levels on his starter. And I'm going to be changing this one up quite a bit. You see, my idea, if you watch my starting part, is that the player should generally be going from Oak's Lab up in a straight line and getting to Pewter. And then I want something at Pewter to redirect the player back down to get to Route 22. So I am going to level this team based on the thought that they are going to be fighting Brock immediately after. This is also a fight that you're allowed to lose and can't repeat if you do lose it. So I think it's okay to make this fight very tough and that you're not really supposed to win. With that in mind, the rival is going to have 3 Pokemon, 2 of which are going to be rare finds, and one of which is just going to be there, basically, to harass Brock, with each of the 3 members of the party being able to be substituted for the starter if that is the starter that they have. The rival will have Bellsprout, or Bulbasaur. They will have Pichu, or Charmander, and Poliwag, or Squirtle. Pichu is a rare encounter in Viridian Forest, replacing the Pikachu that you normally find there. Bellsprout is now in Route 22, and Poliwag is a fishable Pokemon, also on Route 22. So the rival came here to get these Pokemon to beat Brock. Once again, this isn't really a fight that you're supposed to win, but you can if you really try. Next up, we have Brock himself. Normally, he's got a Geodude and an Onix. Kind of a boring team, only 2 Pokemon. For this mod, what we're going to do is we're going to replace them with a Geodude and an Onix. They're really good Pokemon choices for early game. Geodude is some early fodder, it's not that tough, but Onix is very tanky, and it looks cool. So it gives the player the good vibes that they really want after beating the first gym leader. Granted, I'm going to be changing up their movesets, and they're going to be tougher because of it, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. Now, you're going to be facing off against Brock on the SSAN. I'll explain that more in the SSAN section, but he's only going to have 1 Pokemon there, and it's going to be a Clefairy that knows Substitute, which is normally an egg move for Clefairy. If you rematch Brock after you beat Surge, he is going to be getting a Graveler, a Clefairy. His ace is still going to be Onix. But he's also going to now have a bit of a secondary typing. In fact, all the gyms are. He is going to be adding in a Golbat. Golbat will give him a good flying type option for getting rid of any fighting types or grass. It's also easy to explain how he caught a Golbat. Mount Moon is right over there. He can just go. And for his post-game team, he's got a Golem. He's got Clefable. He's got Crobat. He's got a Rhydon. And his Onix has finally become a Steelix. And for these post-game matches with gym leaders, I want to show off that these gym leaders are well-traveled and they have connections. So these gym leaders are also going to have an exotic Pokemon from typically Johto, but maybe also Hoenn. For Brock, he is going to have a Togetic. Now, on to Mount Moon. You find a Rocket Boss bullying a scientist. And this Rocket Boss, when you fight him, he's going to have 6 Pokemon. And he's going to let you know that before you fight him. I'm this tough guy. I've got a team of 6. You're going down, kid. His team is going to be a Tyrogue, and a Zubat, and a Zubat, and a Zubat, and a Zubat, and a Zubat. He just kind of caught them because he was getting sick and tired of them attacking him. This shows off the fact that Team Rocket, they're bullies and they're threatening people, but they're a bit of a paper tiger. They're not really that tough, they're just a lot of them. The scientist, meanwhile, is going to have 3 Pokemon that the Rocket was trying to steal. He's got a Porygon, a Kabuto, and an Omnimite. All 3 of these are Ghost-type Pokemon, so the player is going to need to have moves that aren't Tackle in order to beat them, which shouldn't be hard. I believe that even Rattata at this point should have Bite at the very least. This also gives the player a chance to see the ghost types in action before they get the quest that will allow them to get one from the scientist for free. After that, you get to Cerulean City with Misty, the water-type gym leader. Misty is going to have a Krabby, which is part ground, so it's going to be immune to electric types, a Psyduck, and a Starmie as her ace. Normally she just has a Staryu and a Starmie, but I wanted her to have an extra Pokemon, and also not 2 of the same Pokemon. When you fight Misty on the Ann, she is going to be received as one of the strongest people on the boat at the moment. She is going to have a Horsea, and it's going to have 3 of Horsea's egg moves. Dragon Breath, Octazooka, and Aurora Beam. Horsea's pretty strong if you give it the right egg moves. And when you rematch Misty, she's going to talk about how angry she is that you beat her. And her team is going to be very changed up, from Krabby and Psyduck to Wartortle and this new Horsea. And her new secondary type is going to be Dark. And she's going to have a Meowth, which itself is not Dark type, but it becomes Persian, which is a Dark type. I also think that Meowth fits Misty's sort of vibe as a cute cat. But when you rematch her post-game, she is tired of losing. She's got a Blastoise, she's got Victory Bell, she's got Kingdra, she's got Hypno, she has her ace Starmie, but her exotic Pokemon is going to be Feraligatr. So, she's casually got 2 starters. She's got Kingdra. She's going to fuck you up. And then we get to Nugget Bridge. Obviously, you start with the rival here. Normally, the rival's got a Pidgeotto, which replaces their Spearow. They've got an Abra, which is the level to evolve into a Kadabra, so why he didn't evolve it, I will never know. A Rattata and his starter. I'm going to be changing that up a little bit. He's going to keep the Pidgeotto. He's going to evolve that Abra into a Kadabra. And the Rattata is now going to be a Pikachu, which is a Pokemon that is very effective against water types, like Misty. And of course the starter. So this is a team post him fighting Misty, he's still using the Pikachu because it's good coverage, especially against the flying types that are all over this area of the game. And when you get to the end of Nugget Bridge, you have to fight a Team Rocket recruiter. So this recruiter is going to have 5 Pokemon. A Beedrill, a Pidgey, a Sandshrew, a Nidorino, and a Mankey. All of which were taken from the other 5 trainers on Nugget Bridge. And after that comes a bit of a gimmick fight. There's a Rocket who stole the TM for Dig. So I want that Rocket to have 6 Rattatas, all fairly low level, which all know Dig, because he has been doing nothing but teaching Dig to Pokemon for Team Rocket for the past 10 hours. So once you finally beat him, he hands back Dig and he says that I've taught enough Pokemon, Dig. No more. I'm done. Following that wonderful little thing, you get to the SSN. So why do these trainers from the gyms only have 1 Pokemon, and why are they on the An? Well, the SSN is supposed to be full of VIPs and celebrities from all over. So if it's got a lot of celebrities, why are they inviting Bill but not the gym leaders? So I put the gym leaders there. But the gym leaders didn't want to bring all their Pokemon, so they decided to have a little game. They each brought 1 egg, which they hatched on the way there, and then they all fought each other. Just to see, who can win this informal little tournament. I think that the winner is going to be Misty, with Koga and Blaine right behind her. We have Surge here. Surge will be fighting with an Eevee. I did give Eevee the chance to learn Spark, but it's a few levels ahead of where an Eevee should be for any fight in this point in the game. That being said, I'm the mod maker, I'm just going to give the Eevee an illegal Spark. I guess Surge just has a TM for Spark for some reason, and it's the only one. Next up we have Erica. She's got a Tangela, which has the egg move Confusion, and her TM for Mega Drain. Sabrina brought in Execute, which can use Ingrain, and has the TM for Calm Mind. Goga, either second or third, is going to be bringing in a Venonat, which knows Giga Drain and Signal Beam, which are 2 ridiculously strong egg moves, and it knows the TM Toxic. Blaine, meanwhile, brought in a Magby, which knows Thunder Punch and Cross Chop, with the TM for Fire Blast. So, you can see how he got second or third. It's not just the gym leaders I want to add. I also want to add some more exotic trainers here. I want to name 2 people who are coming over from Johto. We have a bug catcher whose name is Bugsy, and a bird tamer whose name is Faulkner. Bugsy won the tickets to get on the SSN from beating the National Park. He has a Ledian and an underleveled Ariados, which is probably how he won the tickets. And Faulkner is going to have a Hoot Hoot and a Murkrow, as well as both of them knowing Mudslap, which will be his TM. And Faulkner got these tickets because his dad is a gym leader, so his dad received the tickets and gave them to him. But they aren't the main threat for the player on the An. Sure, they've got strong Pokemon, but they've only got 1. You have 6. You just outnumber them. The real struggle here is going to be the rival, who has a team all set up to beat the shit out of Surge. The best Pokemon in the area for beating Surge is Diglett, so he's got one of those. After that, he's bringing out his Kadabra, just a little through line from his previous fight to this one. It doesn't mean that much time, and Kadabra is a really strong Pokemon. And then he's going to either send out a Tangela or a Ponyta. He'll only send out the Ponyta if he's a Bulbasaur starter, because there's no point in him having 2 Grass-type Pokemon on the team. The Tangela, or Bulbasaur, resist electric moves, so it's a natural fit if you're going to go fight Surge. And then, of course, he ends with the starter. And now we go on to Surge himself, the third gym leader. He's going to start with an Elekid, then he's going to send out his Eevee from the SSN, and finish off with his signature Raichu. For his rematches, his secondary type is going to be normal. He was a soldier. He understands that normal folks can fight just as well as any fancy elemental types. Now drop and give me 50 likes and subscribes. In his first rematch, which comes after facing off against Erica, he will have an Electrode. He has a Chansey, which acts as his medic. His Eevees become a Jolteon, and he still has his Raichu. It's his favorite. That Raichu will have Surf. It will be a menace. For his post-game fight, he will be using an Electabuzz. Back from his first match, he will have a Miltank, which is normal ghost in my typing. So for that exotic slot, he is not pulling in any punches. Then he's got Blissey, his Jolteon returns, and Vermilion City is right on the coast. So I'm going to give him a Gyarados, which is water normal in this mod. So, have fun with that. And then he ends with his Raichu still. No point in changing that. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully I'll make another one in less than 2 months. Like, subscribe, comment, send me blood samples, whatever you feel like you want to do. Peace.